Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock Central African time. This is BTV News. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. I'm Mulibide Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. The Vice President urges ABM University College graduates to be international in transforming the country's economy. Government to dialogue with Angola over former President Lieutenant General Khama and Khama's detention.
Zabra's head coach announces 26-man squad ahead of World Cup qualifiers.
And there is Liza Oseke joining us later on our sport desk. Welcome and thank you for joining us. In our first story, graduates at ABM University College have been urged to demonstrate the spirit of visionary leadership as they step into a world filled with opportunities and challenges. This call was made by the Vice President, Mr. Ndaba Gaolate, during the school's graduation ceremony in Gaborone this morning. His call to action emphasized the crucial role young leaders play in transforming the country's economy. Kikanse Kumalo with more.
On this momentous occasion, the Vice President, Mr. Ndaba Gaolate, delivered a compelling address to 170 eager graduates, urging them to be intentional in transforming the country's economy. He encouraged graduates to apply knowledge and skills acquired during their studies to approach the future with a proactive mindset.
You live here as torch-bearers of a new Botswana, architects of a future defined by innovation, leadership, and integrity. Yours is not just an achievement, but a responsibility. For what you carry in your hands is not just a scroll of paper, but a call to action, an invitation to greatness. ABM has laid a strong foundation, equipping you with knowledge, skills, and ethical principles. But remember that education does not end here. It evolves, it deepens, and it finds purpose in how you apply it. The transformation of Botswana's economy will not be driven by government alone. It will be driven by the thinkers of this country, by the doers in this country, by the risk takers, the graduates of ABM University College.
Vice-Chancellor Ms. Daisy Mulifi is confident that under her leadership, ABM University College has fostered an environment that encourages critical thinking and creativity, preparing graduates to face the global challenges ahead.
We continue to perfect this craft to instill in our graduates an entrepreneurial mindset. When we talk of entrepreneurial in this case, we are not only talking about people that go out there and start their own businesses. We are also saying those that are employed and working elsewhere, they must be entrepreneurial in the way they do business. And I know that our graduates today, as they go out there in the public service, where some are in the private sector, they are going to transform their organizations in ways unimaginable. That's what we do at ABM.
For their part, graduates affirm their readiness to engage with the world, adding they are equipped not only with academic knowledge, but also with entrepreneurial skills.
This graduating class is diverse. We have future business leaders, the marketing gurus, hospitality experts, financial strategists, so on and so on, entrepreneurs in the making. Each one of us has chosen a different path, but what unites us is our drive, our ambition, and our commitment to excellence.
As they embark on their professional journeys, graduates of ABM University College carry with them the weight of expectation and the ability to make transformative changes. Kikanse Kumalo, BTV News, Gaborone.
Women in Maung and surrounding areas have been encouraged to collaborate and empower each other in addressing issues affecting both women and children. This was said by the First Lady, Ms. Kaoneboko, when engaging with women at a Khotla meeting held in Maung on Thursday, aiding that combined efforts are vital in fighting social ills and gender-based violence. The First Lady, Ms. Kaoneboko, urged women to work together in advocating for policies that will protect them and also share experiences, have mutual support and encourage each other's growth and skills development. Stakeholders and some women organizations from BOTSWANA engaged with the First Lady on different initiatives to help combat issues of gender equality, saying there is still a lot to be done.
Today we gather, voices strong to celebrate women where they belong. From every land, from every place, we stand together full of grace.
A poem to welcome the First Lady to BOTSWANA Khotla in Maung, expressing appreciation to show that the First Lady's visit came at an opportune time when women are celebrating their beings this month of March. The First Lady, Ms. Kaoneboko, urged women to work together in advocating for policies that will protect them and also share experiences, have mutual support, and encourage each other's growth and skills development.
Le gore mente o hitileng o likile ke tsene mo ofising ke ithala mama sisi a likile ba ga rona jaanong re gongwe ga re ka utlwa le ba le gore ba reng gongwe re ka ya go gong ka gore tota ga re sa tlhole re tlhaloganye batho re tshelela mo letshogong hala ha o utlwa gompieko go tenya ka gana go nnile le GBV ka gale le gape ka ga ya tlhaga jaanong ke re tshwaragane re na le lenaneo la go tsholetsa basadi re lemogile gore tota jaaka re bua di-issue tsa bo gender equality basadi ra sokola mo malapeng mo ditirong jaanong re na le lenaneo leo jaaka ke ntse ke utlwa gore go na le ditalente tse dintsi kwana
nna le ene re na le go bua gore we are such a broken nation ga re sa tlhole re na le boleng ga re sa tlhole re na le setho dio tsotlhe di re latlhegetse a ba nthare mme go raya gore ka ga go ntseng ka teng ga ke batle go bona botala bohibidu bontsho bosweu nna le wena ra go tshwaraganna tiro ya go aga setšhaba se sešwa.
Stakeholders and some women organizations from BOTSWANA engaged with the First Lady on different initiatives to help combat issues of gender equality, saying there is still a lot to be done.
Re etetse dikgota dikereke le bone re ntse re ba lemotsha ka kgokgontsho batho ka bongwe re ba ruta re ba tsebosa le yone ka kgokgontsho le tiriso bothatso ya ditagi ke nngwe ya dilo tse le gore e leader to GBV re ba ruta le ka ngwao ya Setswana ka kwano gore motho o tshwanetse gore a itshware jang.
Gender equality is not just a women's issue. It's a societal issue that requires collective action. Hari empower abomme, re uplift the entire community, and we secure better future for Botswana.
Strengthen awareness campaigns on drug abuse and gender-based violence. Expand programs that empower young women with education and protection against abuse. Education and digital access. Increase scholarship opportunities for youth in Ngamiland.
Women in business in Maung took this time to exhibit their products to the First Lady, who appreciated their efforts and encouraged them to do more so that they can reduce the country's import bill. Mpo Aron, BTV News, Maung.
The Minister for International Relations, Dr. Penyo Butali, has confirmed that indeed the former president, Lieutenant General Dr. Khama, was temporarily detained at Luanda Airport in Angola, alongside with several other politicians for 8 hours. Dr. Butali says government is to engage with Angola on the matter. He further confirmed that all the necessary protocols pertaining to Dr. Khama's travel to Angola were followed. News reports say he was to attend the 59th anniversary of UNICEF UNITA, which is Angola's main opposition party. Other delegates detained alongside him include Tanzanian opposition leader Tundu Lissu, Mozambique's Venancio Mondlane, Kenya's Edwin Sifuna, and former Colombian President Andres Pastrana Arango. They were invited to an international conference in Benguela, organized by UNITA.
What happened to me today was really something I never expected. And I view him as a brother, because as the president, he was the chairman of SADC. Now he's the chairman of the African Union.
Yes.
And I thought, you know, tolerance is something which we as Africans need to learn and adopt in our politics on the continent. Yes, I know they are trying to arrange for us to travel to Benguela tomorrow. But I've decided I'm going back home. Yes, I feel very hurt by what happened to me today.
Yano, yaka wite re hatela BOTSWANA re na le tirisano e ntle thata excellent relations le ba Angola me tirisano e tswang khakala tota e haetse mo goreng jaanong re na le ka hare buisanang ka teng through diplomatic channels ke tsone tse leng gore re tla be re buisana le ba garona go tlhaloganya gore go iragetseng go tlhaloganya gore gone mmekgang e ne le ka jalo mo nakong ya gompieno ga rena kgang e ntse kana we don't have enough facts as to what actually transpired. We will be engaging our counterparts through diplomatic channels as true sister countries that have excellent relations that have been spanning for over many years.
Still in Angola, historian Dr. Boga Manata says the move by Angola to detain and deport political leaders discredits its role of being a mediator between the Democratic Republic of Congo and M23 rebels, and also its chairmanship role in the African Union. He also added that the move may help boost the political image of its opposition UNITA.
Their credibility then in trying to negotiate issues affecting a neighboring country, while they themselves showing such intolerance over just a minor issue. So that is also can taint, I do agree. You know, that would boost the image of the party, political image. I mean, that's political marketing. If the party invites such a high-profile guests, so therefore it is doing very well in terms of political marketing. So they might just be fearful of the strength or even future support that this party would get. But also, again, for denying them entry, would also give credence to the complaints that the unit have been making.
You're still with BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on, 5 elephants have been seen roaming around Khomudiatsaba, Budungwani, Lishibitze and Masama villages in Gauteng. A report from the Department of Wildlife and National Parks advised the public to be vigilant and exercise extra caution when moving around these areas, and are advised not to use herding dogs to scare the animals or make any form of noise, as this will agitate them and as a result make them dangerous to their lives. Any sight of these elephants or anything suspected to be of such animals must be reported to the Department of Wildlife and National Parks on the following lines: 577-7155, 5751-120, 5751-19, or call police on 999. Now, Minister of Youth and Gender Affairs, Ms. Lesego Chombo, says there is a critical need for women to be at the forefront of entrepreneurship, noting that empowering women in business is not just a matter of economic growth, but also of dismantling societal barriers that hinder women's progress. Ms. Chombo highlighted this at the ongoing high-profile Commission on the Status of Women event in New York.
The necessary applied business skills coupled with women's natural God-given hard work. I love to say that women have been given skills and behavioral attributes and a certain energy and a certain mindset that only God has given to them and no one can take away. And I believe that one of these very virtuous qualities that women have is hard work. I believe that women naturally work hard. Women are naturally committed. Women are naturally really resilient. And so with the hard work, that commitment, that resilience, but most importantly, with localized training initiatives, women entrepreneurs are now making the mark in the global markets and taking the economies. Earlier on, I spoke.
Women are encouraged not to sit back but take advantage of government initiatives aimed at improving their livelihoods. This was said by Francistown District Commissioner Ms. Chabongwa Matseka during the International Women's Day celebration held at Francistown. Ms. Matseka added that the government prioritizes empowering women financially so that they play a crucial role in growing the country's economy. Abigail Madorobo with more.
Traditionally, leadership positions were only reserved for men. However, nowadays things have changed as women have proved that they also have leadership capabilities. Ms. Matseka says, even though women are capable of assuming leadership positions, there are still some challenges because their numbers are still low when it comes to political positions.
Bomme re ba bona ba le mo maemong a harologanyeng. Re itse gore bogologolo baruti bo bishopo bo prophet then e ne ile bo rehela. We
now see women in different positions of leadership. In the past, pastors, prophets were only men, but nowadays women have taken those positions. As women, nothing hinders us to apply for the financial assistance at SADC, among others.
The administrative positions. Really, bomme basadi. Do not sit at the back, bomma. Tambi Carabello, Sayang Carolo, Horlet Locona Horletoka has a Lona, let the Locona Horletoka has a Matsilo Alona, Leabom never bound.
There are some factors that frustrate efforts towards gender equality on opportunities.
Kinaleho itemo Hore. Le rona ha bona re le hana batho ba bantle batho ba ba siame batho ba ba belegang setšhaba dotse re modi wa tso.
I have realized that us as beautiful ladies or women, we are the root cause of GBV, so let's stop provoking men.
Re nna modi emong tse di sa nang sentle go kgontso e nna teng mme le nna tota modi wa teng.
Some of the people who attended this event also expressed their views.
It's not just a day about women, it's a day about pointing out all the struggles and all the difficulties that a girl child and a woman faces throughout each part of the world. So today, we do not only acknowledge all their strengths, but also their weaknesses and how men and women can work together to create a safe and equitable future for the next coming generations.
The government has been urged to give women a platform to strive, grow, and be empowered in all sectors of the economy. Abigail Madorobo, BTV News, Francistown.
The United Nations Children's Fund Botswana representative Dr. Yuan Maji has been hailed for a job well done as she came up with transformative initiatives such as Isimongwaneng that focus on protecting children against violence, abuse and neglect. This was said by the Minister for State President, Ms. Moeti Mohasa, during a farewell dinner for Dr. Maji, whose tenure of office has come to an end. With more.
The most pivotal role played by Dr. Joan Maji during her 5-year tenure as the UNICEF Botswana country representative was helping, in collaboration with the Botswana Police, establish child-friendly police centers that handles cases for abused children in a safe and welcoming environment. Additionally, she also worked with the private sector to establish the CEO Council for Children's Rights, a platform structured to place children's welfare and issues on the agenda of industry leaders.
Who has not only contributed immensely to the well-being of children in Botswana, but whose forthcoming role as Global Director for Nutrition at UNICEF headquarters promises to touch lives globally. You have been a beacon of hope in challenging times. Your agility and action in leading UNICEF to assist government to respond to the needs of children due to the recent flooding emergency attest to your dedication to saving the children of Botswana.
The Jones leadership of the British High Commission, we've had the privilege to partner with UNICEF. We've achieved a lot, strengthening law enforcement, criminal justice, and the social care systems. Together we've trained hundreds of police officers on child-sensitive interviewing?
As the Council, we benefited immensely from her expertise, especially around ending violence against children. This demonstrates impact on the businesses and it called on all of us to act.
She's described as empathetic, compassionate, and persistent by colleagues and acquaintances.
It is through your dedication, your support, your partnership, but importantly, it has been through an amazing team of people that I've been privileged to call my team in UNICEF Botswana. They are dedicated, they are hardworking, they love what they do, and I think they've understood that UNICEF exists for the most marginalized children.
Mr. Mohasa reveals that the government will not slack when it comes to fighting for the safety and prosperity of the children of Botswana, citing the establishment of the Ministry of Child Welfare and Basic Education is a testament of the government's dedication. BTV News, Gaborone.
Good Hope District Council has embarked on a clean campaign targeting the no man's land in Ramatlabama village. The piece of land lies between Botswana and South Africa. The council's chairman, Mr. Khofao Nkwane, says the place is currently an eyesore because of litter. Pel Purihudu with more.
Mr. Nkwane says the council will start taking full responsibility of the place by ensuring that it is clean all the time, and also by implementing a proper plan to ensure that the place belongs to the council and start creating employment for the locals.
Because this no man's land.
We have named this cleaning campaign No Man's Land as the place is abandoned, and decided to start a cleaning campaign in Ramatlabama as most of the waste is found in it. Secondly, we decided to clean the other part of the border as truck drivers use the border to cross, so most of the times they throw away litters and trash anywhere as there are no dusty bins. Residents of Ramatlabama acknowledge the campaign and also assured to make sure the place is always clean, as it is one of the places used by tourists to enter Botswana. This cleaning campaign has helped us a lot, and our village will start to attract visitors when they pass by our village. We have other borders including Pitanemolopo and Tidilamulumu, but most of the times people use Ramatlabama border a lot, so it is important that the place is always clean.
As
VDC, we had a cleaning schedule in the previous years, but this year we are yet to write a letter to communicate as to when we will resume cleaning the village. The nation is encouraged to make sure that they stay in a clean environment, as it helps improve public health. Pel Pududu, BTV News, Ramatlabama.
Now, in international news, the European Union has announced a €4.7 billion investment package for South Africa to support green energy and vaccine production, marking a significant step in strengthening economic and political ties. The commitment was made during the first bilateral summit between the EU and South Africa in 7 years. The EU and South Africa share a strong trade relationship, with the bloc being South Africa's largest trading partner in sub-Saharan Africa. The investment package focuses on South Africa's transition from coal to greener energy. It is time for Sport News. Let's also again on standby.
Thank you so much, Olibile. Good evening. I am Liza Osekeng with your World of Sport.
And we are starting off with football news. The senior men's national team, the Zebras head coach Morena Ramorebudi, says in their quest to make history and qualify for the World Cup for the first time, they must get maximum points against any opponent they come across in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. When announcing his 26-man squad, which will face Algeria and Somalia next week, Ramorebudi emphasized the importance of selecting relevant players who would be able to withstand such strong opponents. Kagiso Molelekwa.
The Zebras, who are in Group G, which contains Algeria, Guinea, Uganda, Mozambique and Somalia, have already played 4 matches, winning 2 and losing 2, to occupy position 3 with 6 points. Botswana has a formidable side, and according to Ramorebudi, players were all ready for selection and were spoiled for choice, as he has creamed a cream of players to choose from ahead of these 2 encounters.
The 2 countries with good history in football. Obviously, so much is expected from us. The first thing that is expected is for us to collect and get results. And looking at who we play against, obviously, it has informed the types of players that we need for this camp and how we usually play as a team and what has been working for us.
The former Johannesburg Galaxy head coach Ramorebudi further said it is important to blend both experienced and upcoming players in the team to bring freshness as well as maintain consistency in the team.
We have profiled based on what we have currently. For example, if you look at Tero Sitsile, he has been very consistent. He has been with the team before, and he is coming back with the international experience that he has. When you profile Tsepo, looking at the characteristics of Tsepo, you are talking about the younger version of Seakanye. So those are some of the players that we brought, and obviously the camp in Joaneng informed who we need for these games and what types of players we need. Because, for example, if you look at this boy Theo, also he's giving you those characteristics of a modern central attacking midfielder that you need. So I think we have tried to also to make sure that we give a better balance in terms of us being able to attack and be able to defend.
The Zebras final squad, which is made up of 26 players, include 3 goalkeepers, namely Ruitsone Poko, Lesenya Malapela, as well as Kabalo Mapakela. The defense department will be led by the newly signed Gent High defender, who is also the Zebras captain, Tata Yonidi Tokwe, Kizo Mangolo, Mutuzo Johnson, as well as Khama, Kimonetse Mangwedi of Tafik, among others. Gifty Moyo, Gilbert Baruti, Khape Muhitsiwa, European-based Rene Lebatlokwa, as well as another new player, Tewa Shadukong from Security Systems, will be in control of the midfield. From the attacking department, the Zebras has players who are prepared anytime to fight for the badge. Amongst them, Ferro Tlokwe's teammate Misang Orebonyi, Moroccan-based Kabelo Sakanyeng, as well as free scoring Torsitsil of Johannesburg Galaxy. The local side will lock horns with Algeria next week Friday before taking on Somalia the following week on Tuesday. All games will be played at Obed International Stadium in Francistown. Kagiso Molelekwa, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Now, in an effort to help more athletes to qualify for the FISU World University Games to be held in Germany this year, Botswana Tertiary Student Sport Association will host the Botesa Athletics South and North qualifiers over the weekend at Obed Itani Chilume Stadium in Francistown. Bakos Derek.
Botesa Public Relations Officer Obonetse Butumile said the event is key to athletes as they work hand in hand with Botswana Athletics to unearth talent.
Tota Monday di go go talent mo Botswana. Tota because as you know, tota school sports has not been operational, and also you find that kana bana ba rona ba ntse ba leka gota le no sando le bona re ba support ya gore ba gole, because it's not only for these FISU games. We need to grow these athletes, because also ka 2026 re tebe rena le cooks at every tshegetsa gona mo Botswana. So about this pool of students, some of them, yes, of course, ba ka se gone go itella go Germany, but they will be there. Re leka gona ntse re ba monitor bona re ba dira gore e ka 2026 e ba na part of the cooks team e tebe le gone mo ga borodi mo Botswana. It's like with numbers that we have, it shows that there's growth. Even over the BA series competition, le bona ra ba letela gore ba participate mo teng ba tsene mo ditlabo go dinako tse ba di kgona go di BA series le rona ra di dirisa go rona ka gore tota re thusa ke bona batho ba BA gore re tsamaise mabelo a rona.
Butumile further said that they are hopeful that their first ever event of the year competition will be successful, though they encountered some challenges.
Challenge in terms of support and mostly from government institutions. But they participate by support that thing has a high to medicine, but it is only retreat the principal. Holeka battles or to the Botesa Raka, Batahuira, Honimoka, Kitsaga, Homolo, Hokaleka, Tusa, or Bites or Yami, have a top of Banaba competition, but on Robert to say Jan Hotoka line. Over and above that, I think over 1,000 students but they were Francis Town. You can imagine that's a huge number of athletes by Lobata we take. Who participate in the competitions in Senya.
To continue helping athletes to improve their times, BOTSWANA will host another championship next month. Bako Sterek, PTV Sport. Lokweng.
And finally, Botswana Cricket Association will on the 28th and 29th of March host its first edition of Botswana Cricket Suzuki T20 Under-17s tournament in Gaborone, which aims to promote and support children in cricket from grassroots level. Khorata Moeng.
According to the Vice Chairman of BCA, Samuel Damoda, the tournament is expected to test the credentials of the BCA's grassroots development programs.
We are not going to be sitting back and saying, oh, we're going to wait till this thing happens. Yes, we could have done that, but then what would have happened is we would not be having this conversation now because it's been already 4 or 5 years since this happened. 4 or 5 years is a long time. You're literally killing a generation of players when it comes to underage. You know, you're talking under 13s, in 5 years, they move to under 17, which means they skip under 15. So where is the progression for these children to be able to play through a structured format, to be able to give them an opportunity to represent the country at international level? You're losing that. Okay, money is an important factor. Being paid overtime and not being overpaid, that's not the issue here. If we as a nation cannot come together and understand that we're losing a generation of sports people, boys and girls, no matter what kind of sport it is going to be a serious problem for us. Athletics are bringing us medals right now, but think of what's going to happen if this becomes a foregone conclusion for a long period of time.
5 teams made up of boys and girls under the age of 17 years are expected to compete in the tournament.
This year we're going to have a national structure where we will have an under 13, under 15, under 17 leagues for both boys and girls. This will obviously come across from having tournaments from around the country in the different hubs that we've got, like Lobatse, Mulupulole, Muchudi, Mokurisane, Pickwe, Francistown and all that. So as a start, what we are doing right now is on the 28th and 29th of March, we have what they call the BCA Suzuki. Suzuki are apparently willing to sponsor towards the costs of the event. We're having a schools tournament for the under-17s, and that's to be hosted at the BCA Oval. We're trying to bring together some of the players that have been identified from the various schools that have been playing cricket, especially government schools and also private schools, and then try and bring them together. We're starting with under-17s first right now, basically because next year, again, we will be participating in the ICC under-19 qualifiers, pathways. Okay, and under-19 qualifiers for the ICC, because it is played every 2 years, they expect the players to be under 17 when they start in the qualification. So in the event that any team that qualifies, that moves from one stage to the next stage, by the time that team plays in the actual World Cup, they're under 19. Okay. So that's why we are focusing on the under 17s at the moment to start with.
If all goes well, the plan is to host this tournament annually and engage more children to the cricket sport.
When it comes to tournaments, usually we've never engaged in cash prize. We do have awards in terms of trophies and medals and so on. And of course, the players that are there during the tournament, they are fed, and those kind of things are taken care of. Our focus has not been on prize money as such, because what happens to prize money is we don't know exactly where that gets spent actually. Whereas if we can save, because we are all complaining we don't have enough money, if we can save the money and put that more into the development and try and put money aside to have more programs and tournaments, I think that gives you more of a reward than giving cash money which will get spent either in 1 hour or we don't even know where that goes.
With this tournament, hopes to unearth talent that can be used in the national junior teams set up, as well as in the future senior team at senior club levels. The next Botswana Cricket Association event will be Kalahari Women's T20 tournament slated for next month. Horatamwing, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, that is it for sport this evening. We now take a look at stories making headlines once again.
The Vice President urges ABM University college graduates to be intentional in transforming the country's economy. Government to dialogue with Angola over former President Lieutenant General SADC Khama in Khama's detention.
And in sport, the Zebras head coach announces 26-man squad ahead of World Cup qualifiers.
Well, that is all the news we had for you this hour. Do stay with us. Weather is up next.
Good evening and welcome to today's weather update, proudly brought to you by Faith Kesavili. Let's start off by looking at the rainfall amounts that were recorded this morning at 8 a.m. 35 millimeters at Muilua Farm Tarateng Lands in Tlokweng, 28 millimeters at Tankani Primary School, 20 millimeters at Musiwa Primary School in Hukunzi, 12 millimeters in Valhoek Primary School and Kasani International Airport, 10 millimeters in Nga Primary School and Baratani Primary School, 9 millimeters in Godfrey's Farm in Tlokweng, 8 millimeters at Letlhakane Meteorological Station and Good Hope Meteorological Station, 5 millimeters at Joanna Game Park, 4 millimeters at Plateau Primary School, 3 millimeters at Murama Junior Secondary School and Ngau Primary School, 1 millimeter at Dikhonye Primary School and Gaborone Game Reserve, while over Kazungula Police Station and Tsani Meteorological Stations were recorded some few drops. Now, currently over the southwest Indian Ocean, we have tropical cyclone Jude, which continues to approach the southwest coast of Madagascar. Tropical cyclone Jude, it is expected to make some landfalls this Friday over the southwest coast of Madagascar through Saturday. And it is expected to re-emerge in the southeast of Madagascar, where it is expected to join the extratropics and die a natural death. Now let's zoom into our country, Botswana, where clouds are visible, which are expected to give us some thunder showers this evening. And tomorrow, cloudy conditions are expected over Gantsi Kgalagadi, south and southeast Gatleng, south and central and northeast, with scattered thunder showers over Gantsi Kgalagadi and the southern district. Over southeast Gatleng, south and central and northeast, isolated thunder showers are expected. Over northern central Chobe and Ngamiland, partly cloudy conditions are expected with isolated thunder showers. Now, morning temperatures are expected to be warm over most parts with the range of 16 degrees Celsius over Pandamatenga up to 19 degrees Celsius over Kade and Khanzi. Over Ngamiland, we're expecting hot temperatures with minimums of 20 over most parts of Ngamiland. And afternoon temperatures are expected to be mild over Kalahari, south and southeast Gatleng, in south and central and northeast, ranging between 23 degrees Celsius over Veda up to 26 degrees Celsius over Tsani and Lepepe. Over other areas of the country, warm temperatures are expected, ranging between 27 degrees over Kade up to 32 degrees Celsius over Maung and Kasane. Now let's look into Sunday forecast, where cloudy conditions are expected over most parts with scattered thunder showers over Gantsi, Kgalagadi and southern, while over other parts, isolated thunder showers are expected. Afternoon temperatures are expected to be mild over Gantsi, Kgalagadi, south and southeast Gatleng, south and central and northeast, with the range of 23 degrees Celsius over Veda up to 26 degrees Celsius over Ngujane and Kade, while over other parts, warm temperatures are expected, ranging between 27 degrees Celsius over Gumare up to 31 degrees Celsius over Kasane. That's all from the weather forecasting desk. Have yourself a good night.
Coming up in this edition of Eye on SADC, SADC leaders meet to discuss the DRC crisis. Furthermore, consultations on Citizens Economic Empowerment Act regulations to commence in Eswatini. And Mafeteng women collaborate with the purpose of praying. There you are. Greetings to you and yours, and welcome. And thank you for joining us from wherever of the 16 SADC countries. My name is Ndishisha Mfungu, and it's always a pleasure, always a delight being in your company. Our first